Pope Francis has died today on the 21st of April, just today. And he has died, he was 88 years old since he passed away. Yeah, a moment of silence for him.
Major breaking news: the Pope has died at the age of 88. His death was just announced, saying at 7:35 this morning, the Bishop of Rome, Pope Francis, has returned to the house of the Father. His whole life was dedicated to the service of the Lord and his church. And that's pretty crazy because just yesterday we saw him, blessing huge crowds on Easter Sunday and even meeting J.D. Vance. And that's a pretty big deal because, over the last 5 weeks, he has spent, all of that time in hospital due to a case of double pneumonia. He was just discharged not long ago. And, here we are. He was one of the oldest popes in the church's history, and he passed away on Easter Monday.
Okay, really terrible, sad news. And 88 years old. One thing that comes to mind, what does the Pope do? What is the purpose of the Pope? What is the job description of a Pope? And I can imagine, like right now we see he's 88 and he look like really a hot 88, probably. He's a very busy man. So what does he do? So we're gonna take this stream today. We're gonna understand, because I'm curious about it too, to understand what is the function of a Pope, what is the job description of a Pope. It's a job at the end of the day, in some way, but more of a spiritual job. Doesn't mean that, yeah, it is a job somewhat. So I want to understand basically that dynamic. I'm going to speak on it. And then I'm going to talk about pneumonia, what are the causes of it, and how to prevent and remedy it. So I think this is the most important part, one of the most important part. I mean, this is a wholesome video. This is the most important, one of the most important part, to know exactly, okay, what to look out for and how can you basically prevent it and remedy it. I'm going to look at the methods of doing this naturally and also using medication that are commonly known as drugs. So now we are here. Okay, a pope known as the Bishop of Rome served as a spiritual leader of the Roman Catholic Church, the largest Christian domination in the world. The Pope is considered the successor of Saint Peter, one of Jesus Christ's apostles, okay, who is traditionally regarded as the first bishop of Rome. Okay, the lineage grants the Pope primacy over the global Catholic community. Okay, like supremacy. Okay, the leader. Symbolizing unity and apostolic continuity. Elected by the College of Cardinals, the Pope takes on a role that is both deeply spiritual and overtly visible, embodying the guiding authority of the church doctrines and moral teaching. Okay, I think this part, I mean, let's just continue on reading. The papacy, deriving its name from Latin term papacy, which means father, carries immense historical and religious significance. Beyond this, ecclesiastical influence, the Pope wields a unique combination of cultural and geographical influence. Residing in Vatican City, one of the most rich cities in terms of money and also knowledge. An independent city-state enclave. Why do you want to put a word like this? Enclave within Rome, like enslave. The Pope oversees the administration function of the Holy See. Okay. The central government body of the Catholic Church. Okay. This unique position grants the Pope a role that transcends conventional religious leadership. embodying him into a fabric of global diplomatic and interfaith dialogue. What does a pope do? I think this is what we need to know. I mean, he's a leader of bringing forth the Christian apostle. Anyway, he's a leader in the spiritual world and as a teacher as well. Okay, what does the Pope do? The Pope, as the Bishop of Rome and the spiritual leader of the Roman Catholic Church, I think this exactly, one of the sentence that actually embodies it, carries out a multiple of vital roles that influence not only religious practices but also global moral discourse. Okay. So let's say if we have an issue when it comes to war, for example, does the Pope step in and say, hey, we shouldn't be doing this. This is against him. This is war. This is cruelty against humanity. We shouldn't be killing each other and stuff like that. It's like, do the Pope, come like a referee in between different countries, two countries or more, and then trying to civilize or try to find a middle ground that is, excluding bloodshed and without, crime? Or is that really possible? Because if that was the case, I mean, there's a lot of war that are actually happening right now. Okay, he served as the supreme pastor. He served as a supreme pastor, guiding over 1.3 billion Catholics worldwide through teaching, liturgical practices, the moral directives. This leadership involved interpreting and upholding, church doctrine. Okay, first thing, addressing contemporary issues from Catholic perspective, okay, and promoting unity and clarity within the church and broader society. The Pope is also the head of the Vatican City State. Okay, it's like, okay, I mean, speak for itself, making him a significant religious and political figure. Oh, okay, so the Pope has his foot in two different buckets. So one is religious, and the other one is political. Yeah, because I mean, if he's not just the Pope, but he's also the Vatican City State, the head of the Vatican City State. His diplomatic engagement often extend to fostering peace and dialogue across religions and nations. Okay? Furthermore, the Pope appoints cardinals and bishops, ensuring that the church's leadership remains robust and aligned with the spiritual mission. Okay, what is the spiritual mission? If you guys know, let me know in the comment section. I don't know what it is, basically. Through his encyclicals, some really big words for me, apostolic letters and homilies, he communicates his vision and guidance addressing social justice, economic disparity, environmental stewardship, and pressing global concern. Okay, we get it. The Pope is very, 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 very involved. Very involved in the fabric of society, not just in a spiritual fashion, but also political fashion, but also to help us to, as a leader, to help us to stay on the right path. And how to become a pope? Becoming a pope, the spiritual leader of the Roman Catholic Church, requires a unique combination of devout faith. Okay, first thing, faith. Extensive theological education twice, and ecclesiastic service. Okay, what is that? Second time I've read about this. What is ecclesiastical service? What are that? This is probably for some of you this might be just a straight, very much straightforward sentence. Okay. The church is gathering together Christians to be taught of the word of God. The Christian Okay, church. I know ecclesiastical or ecclesiast is a Bible. It's in the font in the Bible, but welcome to church. Okay. If you guys know really what that is, what is an service? Okay, what is an NQ? But that's different. Okay, what does the term ecclesiastical mean? Of relating to church, especially an established institution. Okay, I understand. It's relating suitable for the use in church. Okay, that didn't help, but we are moving forward. Typically, because this is not the point of the conversation, this is not the point of the content, but still, I mean, for me, I would like to just to get update with this once and for all. Typically, one must first enter the priesthood and then advance to a higher role like a bishop or cardinal. So it's something that you climb. Through years of dedicated service, a cardinal may then be elected pope by the colleague of cardinals during a papal conclave. This process underscore the importance of lifelong commitment, religious scholarship, and the recognition of peers within the church hierarchy. Okay. All right. Very interesting. Very interesting stuff. I really wish. I wonder, did the Pope had a family? So this is like the question that I have. Did the Pope have a family? Because popes normally they don't interact with. They are celibate for life. Uh, all right. I was checking. Okay, wait. Let's me show you guys what I'm reading. A guide to Pope Francis family. Jorge or George Mario Bear Golgio was the eldest of 5 children. Okay, Pope Francis passed away today, and through Catholic priestess Mary, he's not allowed to marry nor have children. Wow. Okay, I mean, not married to have children. Does that mean he is survived by several living relatives? Okay, so okay, he's not allowed to marry or have children. So he's married to um to the religion, I would say, and we are his children. So by extension, yeah, I think that's about it in terms of that, in terms of the Pope, what the Pope does, and such. Now we're gonna get to the meat of this video. So again, pneumonia, what causes it and how to prevent it and remedy it. So I've did some research about that quickly. Pneumonia is an infection that inflames the air sac and both sides of the lungs, and both lungs, yeah, which may be filled with fluid or pus. You know, when you have a cold, it's not coming out of your nose, but it's very much different. It all come from the air or your lungs or your air pipe. So it can range from mild to life-threatening, especially an infant, because if your airway is blocked, you can imagine you cannot get air in or out. What can happen? Exactly. The elderly and people with weakened immune system. So now we know for sure when it comes to the Pope, he is an elder guy. He's in the elderly group, 88 years old. Now, what are the causes of pneumonia? I'm going to talk about the causes, but we have some sophisticated words. I believe Latin words, and yeah. So now, as I've discovered, there are a number of different reasons why, or different causes of pneumonia. So bacterial infections could be the most common reason, bacterial infections. And the other reason is this long word. We are streptococcus pneumonia. Okay. And this one is very common because they are very much, there are different one of them, but we can see the key factors of it, the key to it. This disease is seriously bacterial infection caused by streptococcus pneumonia. Anyone can get pneumonia, okay, disease, but certain people are at higher risk. Keep up to date with the okay vaccine to protect yourself against it. Yes, and this is the first one. And I'm gonna go faster in this section because I don't think anyone gonna remember it, but I'll just go faster. So the second cause, or the third cause that can give people pneumonia, is Haemophilus influenza disease. So this one, key points, bacteria called this Haemophilus influenza can cause many types of infections. Some of these infections are mild while others are serious. So as I can see, we see a child right here. You can imagine a child is most affected by this type of pneumonia or influenza. It's does not cause by the flu. Vaccine can prevent infection from one type of influenza, type B or Hib. Okay, let's take a quick look. Types: serious infection, blood infection. All right. Symptom causes of different type of symptoms depend on part of the body that cause infection. Okay, long-term health. It's really not clear. Causes, okay, are bacteria that live in people's nose and throat. Usually those bacteria cause no harm. However, they move to part of the body that cause infection. This is the reason why, I would suggest that every time you enter your home, especially if you've been outdoor and with a lot of different people, let's say very crowded area, it could be school, work, just being outside, running errands. When you step in, it will be best that you wash your nose or you blow your nose, and at the same time wash your entire face, and use your small fingers to clean your ears as well, because these are the entrance places for a lot of different bacteria or bacteria and viruses. So that helps. And moving on to the other type of pneumonia is another complicated word: mycoplasma pneumonia. Okay, key facts about it. We see a kid right there again, so that could mean that it mostly happened to kids. Bacteria called mycoplasma pneumonia can cause respiratory tract infection. So infection of your respiratory tract. These infections are generally mild, but sometimes can be severe. Most will recover without medication, but some people need antibiotic to get better. Okay, we know that. And the last one we have here, Langoniers disease. Okay, so this one seems like what the Pope may have suffered from. Okay, Langoniers, it's like within mayonnaise. Legionnaires disease. If you can pronounce it, you're good. Okay, it's a serious type of pneumonia caused by L bacteria. Definitely an L. Certain people are at high risk of this infection, but treatable with antibiotic. People can get L disease by breathing and mist condition L bacteria. To prevent L bacteria, reduce the risk of L growth and spread. Okay, how do you do that then? Okay, I'll guess a lot of it You know, you can imagine the Pope is moving from places to places, or going, is, you know, meeting thousands of people per month. Or so that could, he could come in contact, you know, through different people. But we're gonna see what are the reason why we get it, well, the sources. Okay, the L bacteria, pneumonia can cause infections outside of the lungs, such as heart and womb infections. Okay, I think that was the last one, the boring parts. Okay, now, okay, the third, because bacteria, we were an only bacteria section because it's mostly one bacteria, and number two, viral infections such as influenza, you know, flu viruses, respiratory viruses, or SARS, or COVID-2, also COVID-19, definitely. And the number three reason is fungal infection. Fungal infection. Let's do here. Fungal infection is very less common, because the most common one source of pneumonia is from bacterial infection, and this was from the very long words that couldn't pronounce. And yeah, so now the fungal infection is, you know, in people, pneumophosic gy. Let me make you see this word. It's like they're trying to. It's a coded language. All right. So let's take a look at this here. Pneumocystis pivofici. Okay. If you can pronounce it, let it be known in the comment section, because for me. And people, this is common in people with weakened immune system, and most likely people with HIV and AIDS, because a lot of the time, well, once you have HIV, your immune system is compromised. And other bacteria that is found in the soil, fungi, and in certain region of the planet. And the fourth and last cause of pneumonia is aspiration pneumonia, caused by inhaling food, liquid, vomit, and saliva into the lungs. Damn, inhaling food. This is seriously, like, I'm gonna show you guys. Like, seriously. And through inhaling food, you can get pneumonia. All right, so I think that's right here. Let me show you guys here. This is it. Aspiration pneumonia. Aspiration, the bird, is infection caused by inhaling something other than air into your lungs. So this can be almost anything. This could be food, liquid, saliva, or stomach contents. Many people don't know they aspire something. Sometimes symptoms include fever, shortness of breath, coughing of blood or pus, chest pain, and tiredness. All right. Well, life is so sensitive, really. Okay, now we're gonna take a look at, because we already covered that, we're gonna take a look at the next part, which is the risk factors. What are the factors that can most likely put you at risk of developing or having pneumonia? We've covered the four. We've covered already the four causes of pneumonia, and now we're gonna look at the risk factors. Of course, we know smoking is one. Chronic diseases such as asthma, COPD, and diabetes. Weakened immune system, we already covered that, which is HIV, or through chemotherapy. Chemotherapy definitely weaken your immune system for a time. Hospitalization, especially, and ventilators. And infants or kids, infant and elders from 65 and up. Now, the most important part now is, how do you prevent pneumonia? Preventing pneumonia, vaccination. That's one of the things that you can do. You can get vaccinated. Most effective way to prevent pneumonia, because a lot of the time when we are, well, you're born in the West, you get vaccines as you are a child, you know, or growing up, you get vaccinated for pneumonia as well. Pneumonia, there's vaccines for it, and it protects against bacteria from, which is the most cause is from the bacteria. And flu vaccine also, because again, there's something called the flu shot, prevent viral pneumonia from influenza. The COVID-19 vaccine reduce several severe pneumonia risk. And the other thing you can do is good hygiene. I already mentioned that. Practice good hygiene. Wash your hands frequently. Cover your mouth when you cough and sneeze. Cover your mouth when you cough and sneeze. Avoid close contact with risky people. And the way you can do all of this thing in one, with the good hygiene part, all of that you can do it in one. You don't have to wash your hands, at once, from separately, or covering your mouth, or avoiding risky people. What you could do, I mean, you definitely need to avoid risky people. I would say that. But again, take a shower when you've been in contact with a whole group of people. So the moment that you come from outside, you enter your home, you should just, jump into the shower, because not only that, it will be a good way to introduce yourself to your home again, but also you can, wash out or wash off bacteria from your body. Because again, the bacteria are always in the air, always moving. So what you could do is basically always keep yourself clean whenever you enter your home. Basically, healthy lifestyle, and we need to eat a balanced diet, which strengthen the immune system. Exercise regularly, improve lung function and also the capacity. These are the things that you can do. Avoid inspiration risk, so basically chew food properly. Avoid laying down immediately after eating. Wow. Avoid laying down immediately after eating. So there goes siesta for the Spaniards for Spain. I mean, Spains like to take siestas. So what are the medication and treatments that you could do for pneumonia if you have it, or somebody has it, somebody that you know that have it? Medical treatment: bacterial pneumonia, antibiotics we have here, antiviral meds we have here, also antifungal drugs. There's different ones that your doctor can prescribe you. Hospitalization, oxygen therapy, or IV fluid may be required. But what are the home remedies that you can do? Supportive care, such as stay hydrated, water, herbal teas, bluff, also good. Rest to help the body to recover. Use a humidifier to ease breathing. I use a air purifier. The humidifier. What I do use is something to clean my nose, like a nose drainage. But anyway, that works for me. Warm liquid, green tea, definitely good. Honey, lemon water, definitely good. I don't have my honey, but this is my lemon water. And sore throat, irritation. Avoid irritants like pollution. A lot of the time we cannot avoid pollution because pollution is all over. But one way is that if you go and when you go for a walk at the park, some parks, they are so far away from I would say from the main roads or just road in general. So that's a good way to avoid irritants and dust in the air and pollen. That's something we cannot do. And when to see your doctor again is if you have a high fever, definitely difficulty breathing, or chest pain, definitely you need to see your doctor. Blistering lips, nails, or that's a sign of low oxygen. And confusion, especially in elderly. Well, the key takeaway here is that pneumonia can cause by bacteria, viruses, and fungi. Vaccination, hygiene, and healthy lifestyle are the best way to prevent pneumonia from yourself from getting pneumonia. Treatment depend on the cause of it, with antibiotic or bacteria cases, and support care for viral infection. The earlier that you notice that you have pneumonia, the earlier you can treat it. So, one of the things is too, when it comes to the Pope, with him, he was he was an elder. So what tends to happen is his body is weaker in terms of fighting off pneumonia. And again, he's meeting so many people on a daily basis. It could mean that he got it from someone else, or he developed it from from different sources that we have mentioned. So this is something that you guys could use, something that is very useful for you guys. I'm gonna put the key takeaway in the comment section that you can, if you didn't understand fully what I just said, you could take a look at it and you can go through it at your own time. And for me, let me know what you guys think. It's that who's gonna be the new Pope and how long does it take to have a new Pope? And yeah, RIP to Pope Francis. That was it. Let me know if you have any question in the comment section, remarks, what your thoughts are. And like I always say at this time, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.